it's a meme. It's a meme.
Hey, YouTube family. I am bringing you Love Island Beyond the Villa. And this is the finale, and the title is So Tired with All the Feels. Season 1, Episode 8. So it's starting with Janae and Kenny, and they are hanging out in the room, and Janae said that it is like Antarctica in the room. Too cold. She's saying it's too freezing. What kind of temperature he got? I mean, it ain't the temperature that she need it to be. It's freezing up in there. Antarctica is cold. Y'all know that. And then everyone is hanging out in Janae's room. Miguel says that Leah is not feeling well. So everybody else is there except for Leah. I hope Leah okay. And Connor says Janae and Kenny just got here as well. And I'm like, okay. Who cares, Connor? Who cares about you? You should have been gone. This was the most draining season because you were on there. And it's just funny. I liked you in Love Island season 6. And Kayla shows up, and Cassidy meets up with them, and Janae says she forgot who Cassidy was paired up with. And everybody know that Cassidy was paired up with Kenny. And then Kenny says that his younger brother is in the ICU and had a seizure. This is so sad. And he then says Gabe, which is his younger brother, is his stepbrother. I'm like, okay. So you the stepbrother, okay. And Kenny breaks down crying, and Janae comforts him. And then Kayla asks, is everything okay? And Janae just says that his brother is in breathing tubes and ICU and this and that. And then Connor says Janae and Kenny. And I already said that part, y'all. Y'all know what I'm reading off of. So Aaron is shooting. It's so draining and so boring. But Aaron is shooting a TikTok. And Cassidy finally shows up. And Kayla begins to play softball with the guys. And now she is trying to clear things up with Aaron. Okay? And then Kayla and Aaron. Hold on, y'all. Yeah. Okay. So, it was so boring, y'all. And I promise you, it was a certain part, and I had to make sure that I said every single part. So, Kayla and Torin, they meet up for a special treat. And she says that she has one of the best boyfriends in the world. And I'm like, yeah, girl, clock. And then Kayla says that she does not feel she needs to attend anything dealing with Aaron. And then Connor did ask, was she gonna attend, the party, the going away party for Aaron / his birthday? And then she said no. And it's like, let bygones be bygones. And then it's like cutting these ties and all this stuff. Like I said, the name of the episode was called. And Aaron says that he will always care for Kayla. He wants her to be happy. And he says he thought that he would be with Kayla, but I'm like, but you not. Okay, move on. And then Kayla says that she likes LA, but she feels being there, she is so far from friends and family. And she says that she thinks that New York will be a little closer to her friends and her family. And she says today she applied for her apartment. And then Torin he's so sweet. And he claps for her. And then she says that she's been wanting to live in New York City and explore the city also. And I was like, what? Why not, girl? You're gonna be living there, explore the city, see what New York got to offer. And she says that to Love Island, she is very grateful, and she thanks him for dinner. And she said it's a 10 out of 10. And then they hug and all that stuff. And I said, oh, they so sweet, and they also kiss. So sweet. I like them. But and then Janae and Kenny's apartment. Janae and Kenny's apartment. They at Janae and Kenny's apartment. Sorry, y'all. And Kenny says that this has gone by so fast, and I'm like, it definitely has, cause I know about you, Kenny. I'm gonna get to you in a second. And then Kenny says that he is going to miss being with her and each other like this. And then she says she is happy to be going back to Las Vegas. And she said gas prices are much cheaper there. And I'm like, that sure is. And then he hugs her tight and says that they will see each other again. Then it flashes. It's like 8 weeks later. And then that's when all this bullshit started. When he was on the thing saying that he was talking to his friends, all that racism stuff that was spit between him and his friends. Okay, 8 weeks later, and he had just said that they was gonna still see each other. I'm like, why? And then an article saying that Janae Craig and Kenny Rodriguez have split, and I'm pretty sure y'all knew about that. And they showed Kenny Rodriguez 100 posts. And he just was posting. And it says he's a digital creator in Los Angeles, California, and Dallas, Texas. And it goes to Janae saying, come on, I don't want to miss their flight. And then it said, oops. She said, my flight. And I'm like, oh, it's okay, Janae. I understand, girl. And then Aaron is packing to leave LA, and Connor comes over, of course, and then they had a little powwow and gossip and all that stuff. And I'm like, who gives a damn? Because I know for a fact I did not. And every single person, Kayla and Janae and Serena and Liv and Leah and Miguel, everybody on the cast, they all are saying their goodbyes to LA, and they getting back to their prospective lives. And then they express their happiness, and then they all thank Love Island Beyond the Villa. And I say this, these my thoughts, y'all, because I'm gonna try to give it to y'all for 15 minutes. So I say this, it was a drag, it was a bore, some episodes, and this episode was actually a close-off episode. And everything that we already knew has been revealed. And Kenny and Janae are not together no more. And she's still the sweet person. And she didn't want us, her fans, she didn't want us to give Kenny the business on YouTube. I mean, she just didn't want us to say nothing. And I said, she's so sweet. Because, you know, if I experienced a situation like she experienced with his friends calling her the N word with the hard ER, and him doing it as well. And I mean, it's just a thing of, it's all out racism. And I said, I'm so surprised that Love Island is staying for that, because he ain't the only person. It was Huda and her fans. And you have to realize and understand that these are more than likely kids that are their fans. And that's why I said Love Island season 7, everything has been awful. Season 7 has been awful. And then season 6 has been awful for Beyond the Villa, because that's when all the racism stuff came out. And it go back to season 7 for the reunion. I already talked about that on the live. But the reunion, everything was so racial, pushed towards Serena, and everybody on season 7, Shelly and Alandria. And I said, wow. And then it was just so many memes on TikTok, and it was just so much racism, just spit, racist, racism, racist, 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 racist. And my thing is, Love Island, did you gonna tell me that you didn't see none of this? I know damn well that y'all did see it. And I know damn well too that y'all didn't stop it. Only thing that y'all stopped was Sierra when she was sitting up there talking about the Chinese people. And that was racial, as well as what Huda was doing. That was racist too. Because the George Floyd stuff and all that, putting Alandria's face, like Alandria and Shelly's face on George Floyd and just bringing it up, everybody know that was racially driven. Because everybody should know the case of George Floyd. So my whole thing is, who are y'all's people? And y'all are not seeing this? And that's why I said, how can y'all like continue to make a show knowing that it's known racist people, and y'all don't do background checks on the people that y'all hire? It's easy. Because I did a background check on everybody, because when I was seeing what the people were saying about Shelly, and then when I was seeing what the people were saying about Janae, it just was too much. And the fan groups, and I said what I always said, maybe Love Island shouldn't have turned over the fan votes to make that decision on who goes home. Shouldn't have gave us that much power. And being honestly speaking, I just got my TikTok back, and I didn't know how to even vote. My 13-year-old daughter had to show me how to vote. And I said, oh wow. And then as soon as I brought up Love Island on TikTok, and when I looked at it on Instagram, I said, I saw all of the stuff. I saw what happened with Janae. And I said, she's so positive. She's very, very positive. She has a positive spirit, kind heart. Because honestly speaking, stuff like that, it's just time to just stop. Because I said a long time ago, we've been out the slave ages, the slave days. We've been out there. So it's like, I hate when people bring the stuff back, and then they try to bring something back that a lot of these kids don't know nothing about it. A lot of kids do not know nothing about it. And it's like the fans and stuff, they're kids. They're younger than me. I'm 35. And they're younger than me. So they have their own opinions. Everybody has their own opinions. But is it an opinion that's going to be valid? Is it an opinion that's going to stand for something? And that's not going to hurt nobody's feelings? Because I always was a person that said I can always keep my, comments and stuff to myself within my household. But do you think I would ever post anything, even if I said this person was racist and this and this and that, these cast members and stuff like that? I said, I don't put stuff on social media. It's not even enough time in my day for me to put stuff on social media answering to people spitting racist comments. I mean, and I always have said that, I even tell my daughter, I said, don't ever put nothing on TikTok or Instagram or nothing like that, because people like me and you, we can see it. Everybody can see it. I said, don't put nothing on these celebrities pages and all this stuff. And I always tell her, because she like Cardi B just like I do. Not necessarily, but I like her. And she likes more like Ice Spice and people like that. But the whole point that I was trying to make is, don't put stuff on the internet where they can see it. Because believe it or not, if me and her can see it, they can see it too. And I said, you never know if you're hurting somebody's feelings. So I always keep your comments and feelings to yourself, and don't put it on social media so everybody can see it. Because you never know what people are going through. And that was Love Island Beyond the Villa, Season 1, Episode 8, SoulTies with All the Feels. And it was a pleasure me talking to y'all about Love Island Beyond the Villa. Whew. I said, y'all gonna work my nerves, but I mean, I saw the end of it and the better of it. But it's just like what you gotta go through to get to it. But everything all good now, y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed rest of your day. It's 11:42, still where I am. So have a blessed rest of your day, as well as a good weekend and Labor Day weekend, because Labor Day is on Monday, September 1st. So bye.